Yes, so I welcome you back to class once again. This is Mr. Mohamed Atta. Today we're going to be looking at something very interesting. On board we have living cells, the building block of life. Living cells, the building blocks of life. Alright, so we have our context and let us demonstrate molecular structure and the functions of cells and the basic unit of life. That is what we are going to be looking at. Alright. Under that, these are our level objectives or indicators. So we should be able to identify cells as the basic unit of life, differentiate between plant and animal cell, describe functions of the parts of a cell, and also should be able to relate cell functions to life processes. Introduction. Cells are the smallest units of life. All living things are made up of cells. Alright. Cell theory was propounded by Robert Hooke. He was the first scientist who proposed or who would view cells under a microscope in a cork. Fast forward, let us consider what we have here, the types of cells. The types of cells are based on two main categories: cells of plants and cells of animals. We have the plant cell and the animal cell. Under each of them, we have a list of examples. The first example on plant cells is the leaf palisade cell. We have the mesophile spongy cell. We have the epithelial cell. We have the vascular cell and the photosynthetic cell. On the animal cells, we have the sperm cell. We have the egg cell. We have the blood cell, the nerve cell, and of course the muscle cell. Plant cells have cell walls and chloroplasts. Animal cells do not. With this being said, let us consider some of the parts of an animal cell. To start with, we have the nucleus, we have the cytoplasm, the cell membrane, and mitochondria. We call these organelles of a cell. An organelle of a cell is basically a small organ. So considering the cell of either a plant or an animal, you will have realized that the cell organelles or the components within the cell is what we refer to as organelles. Let us move to the parts of a plant cell. Equally, we have main organelles such as cell wall, the nucleus, cytoplasm, chloroplast, and vacuole. The functions of plant cells. Let us now consider the functions of each of the various organelles we have mentioned earlier. So with the nucleus, we say it controls cellular activities. The nucleus is the central dense part of a cell. Or if you like, it is the central dense part of an animal cell. It controls all cell activities. Cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a gelatinous or jelly-like substance fluid that is found within the cell. It contains all other organelles and it is slightly salty in taste. The cytoplasm is a medium for rate of chemical reaction. Then we have the cell membrane. Of course, the cell membrane envelopes all other organelles of a cell. It allows the movement of substances in and out of a cell. The cell membrane is able to do this because it has a semi-permeable membrane. A semi-permeable membrane is one that allows certain solvent substances to move in and out of a cell. It does not only allow substances in and out of a cell. The cell membrane also plays a protective role. The chloroplast, simply for photosynthesis. It contains chlorophyll that traps sunlight during photosynthesis, enabling plants to produce their own food. The mitochondria. In fact, the mitochondria is also called the powerhouse of the cell. The powerhouse because cellular respiration occurs in the mitochondria. Because of this, energy is produced within the mitochondria. Yes, before us, is the plant and animal cell. On to the far left extreme is the plant cell, and to the right is the animal cell. Of course, we have mentioned some organelles that can be found between the two. You would have realized that they all have nucleus, they have cell membrane, mitochondria, and ribosomes. Now, considering the diagram on the far left, the plant cell, you will realize that cannot be seen in the animal cell, such as the large vacuole, the chloroplast, and the cell wall. This brings the distinctiveness between the plant cell and the animal cell. Okay, having listened to the brief information we have learned so far, let us probe our minds on this. Why are cells called the building blocks of life? Let us compare cells to a factory. Each part of a cell has a role to play. Let's quickly recap some key points from what we have said. So we stated that all living things are made up of cells. Plants and animal cells share similarities, but also some differences. Each part of a cell has a special function. And then with that, we can assess ourselves on this. The first question says, what is a cell? Or what is the basic unit of life? Sorry. Number two, we state two differences between plant and animal cells. What is the function of the mitochondria? And so with this, we can also consider this as a homework or project. We draw and label a new diagram of a plant cell, and also use a microscope if there's any available to observe an animal cell. Thank you.